depends on the warmth of the sun being trapped by a layer of gases that surround the Earth. We now produce so much of these heat-trapping gases that the layer is getting thicker, heating the world, changing our climate and threatening our way of life. As the world gets hotter, the climate will change and some of the extreme effects we have witnessed will become more frequent, making our planet a more hostile place to live. If we could see the gases, the cause of the problem would be obvious to everyone. And if you could see the effect we are having on our planet, you'd do something about it. The solutions exist, and it's not too late to make a difference, but we have to act now.
Obviously, climate change is a big problem and one that could affect all of us. I believe renewable energy is a solution to that problem. Although fossil fuels have propelled our country forward, it is time for us to make the switch to renewable energy because it is cheaper, replaceable, and environmentally friendly. I'm going to discuss the main problem with fossil fuels, what is causing us not to make the switch to renewable energy, and why renewable energy is actually the better option. First of all, the oil industry poses a huge problem to our environment. The burning of fossil fuels releases CO2 into the air, which contributes to the warming of our planet. According to Nathan Jones, Lebo Petchar, and Joseph Kieseker, studies show that there has been a huge loss in biodiversity and our ecosystem services from the warming of our planet as a product of fossil fuels. Some areas are becoming too warm for specific wildlife to inhabit, which is causing divides among species, which leads to crossbreeding and even extinction. For instance, coastal animals that are near the coast are being forced inland from the ascending waters due to the melting of glaciers, and that is causing big city animal problems and trouble among different species that are not in their normal habitats. According to a study done in the Australian Economic Review, coal releases 964 tons per gigawatt hour of CO2 emissions, whereas wind releases 7 and solar 5. These emissions are harnessed as greenhouse gases, which traps the heat that radiates off the Earth without allowing it to escape. The greenhouse gases make Earth habitable, but fossil fuels are causing an unnatural amount of these. Simply put, the more emissions released into the air, the more our climate is warming. Fossil fuels are causing such a problem because money is getting in the way of the facts. Many countries rely on oil, the oil industry, and their oil fields to survive. Some say that many would lose their jobs if the oil industry were to go under. Found that this would not be true most of the time. The fact that our oil supply is dwindling is actually a lie. According to a scholarly article written by Leah Winter, she mentions that scarcity is often constructed through prices in order to advance commercial and geostrategic gains. Oil companies are monopolizing the market, which is causing profits to rise for them, and most specifically, the oil companies' profits, not the state. Winter also says that companies promote narratives depicting extraction of fuel as costly, which gives the consumer a reason as to why the cost is so high. Instead of the profits being equally divided between oil companies and the companies will take extra royalty costs as compensation for the intrinsic value of oil as a non-renewable resource, meaning that since they can't use the resource again, they're taking extra money from us because their supply is gone. This is according to Winter. Consequently, the governments are not benefiting from the oil industry as much as we think. Although money and greed is causing climate change to spiral out of control, I believe that renewable energy is actually a better investment. alternative energy has proven to be more cost-effective. Renewable energy has a big bang for its buck. According to Mark Dernberger, president of the New England Clean Energy, renewable energy in Massachusetts cost taxpayers $111 million, but provided nearly triple that number in benefits. This dollar number of benefits is valued as the reduced emissions, water savings, fuel diversity, electric price stability, and economic development, Dernberger says. Dernberger also mentions that the program in New Hampshire cost $17 million in 2013, but provided $50 million in benefits. He found that to be 79 cents per New Hampshire resident to pay to support clean and efficient energy. Of course, much more needs to be spent to stabilize an entire country or state on renewable energy, but it's just a small example as to where the money goes and the effect it can have. Renewable energy is affordable because there is virtually an unlimited supply of it. It can replenish the pocketbook as well as the energy supply. Here's an example in the Energy Informative of a family in LA who put solar panels on their home. The cost of these were $19,500. The government in California provides incentives to put solar panels on top of your home, so they paid them back $9,000. This left them with a net cost of $10,500. After 9 years, this solar panel system was completely paid back by the family, and after 25 years, the family had a total savings of $22,000. This is mainly from the increased property value of their home and the electricity savings. Their savings will only keep increasing, and solar panels will most likely become out of date, so they can replace them with the money that they made. Even though low prices will cause renewable energy to be used more and more, it will nowhere near contribute to the changing of our climate like fossil fuels do. All sources of renewable energy are clean and natural. Two, obviously, are from the wind and the sun. The solar panels harness the sun's energy without releasing many emissions. And as we know, the wind blows ferociously here in Iowa, and if we can find a way to harvest all this energy in the form of wind turbines, it would be extremely sustainable and it would affect the environment very little. The big problem with renewable energy is there is really no research to show it is possible to completely civilize an entire population. But, according to Langodine, a magazine writer in Hawaii, Hawaii has declared that they plan to achieve 100% clean energy by the year 2045. This shows it is reasonable in the minds of the Hawaiian legislation, and they have shown that they can do it. Renewable energy is the future. Although fossil fuels are essential to our everyday lives, it is time for us to make the switch to renewable energy because it costs less, it is renewable, and it will save our planet. There is really no denying that our planet is warming, and there is no denying that it is mainly because of fossil fuels. We need to fight this because we want our grandchildren to live the lives that we did. There is a chance with renewable energy, and I don't think that we have any other option.